Thanks for having me, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. So this is the first time I've done this, going live with somebody else. The whole idea, the whole concept behind this, and first of all, I'll introduce myself to the people that'll watch this later. My name is Mike. Obviously, you are on my channel. I am a golf fanatic. I am in my early 50s. I am based out of Oregon, based out of Salem. So, hour south of Portland. More importantly, about 3 hours and 20 minutes away from Bandon. Um, represent. Uh, so, my idea was this. Part of the reason why I joined YouTube and started a channel is that one, I'm crazy about golf. I watched a lot of YouTube golf content, and sort of, started commenting, and people were responding, and you kind of start to get this feeling of like, it's sort of a YouTube community. Then I started talking to other creators such as yourself, and had a lot of interactions with other creators. And I always found it funny that we don't seem to, outside of the times when we live close to each other and we can play together and make videos together, we don't seem to have community or collaborate in the very medium and format that we use to put our creative juices out there to the world. So I thought, you know what better time to try it than go live, talk to all of these other channel owners that I creators that I know, and just talk about golf, because I love to talk about golf, and I have a feeling that anyone who has enough gumption to start their own channel and post their golf journey to the world probably likes to talk a little bit about golf. So that's sort of why I'm doing this. That's why I invited you. And Joe, thank you so much for being the first person to say yes.
Yeah, no problem. It's
Actually,
awesome.
yeah, right after you said yes, I had a flood of people saying, "That sounds really cool. I want to try it. I want to try it. I want to do it. I
Perfect.
want to do it." Yeah, but so you are the first. So this is fantastic. So just to start, go ahead, just to whatever extent you want to, um, introduce yourself, who you are, kind of what you're about, where you're at, and to whatever extent you're comfortable with.
Yeah, man. So I'm Joe, like we said. I'm with Sorta Like Golf. So I started my channel about a year and a half ago, I want to say. And it was kind of one of those things where I played golf a lot when I was younger, and then I had kids, and well, my wife had kids, but we had two kids in the house, and I couldn't really justify when they were little, like working all week and then spending like 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday
Yeah.
when I only get 2 days with them, kind of thing. So I quit playing golf for a long time. But now my daughter's in college, my son's a senior in high school. He says girlfriends now, so nobody wants to hang out with me anymore. So I'm
Yeah.
out. So my wife's like, okay, it's the weekend, you can go. So I was watching YouTube one night and just randomly someday, I don't even know. I wish I knew what channel it was. Looking back, but I randomly watched some dude play 18 holes of golf, and it just dawned on me, like, why did I do that? I have no idea who this guy is. Like, why am I watching this?
He's not
Oh,
even very good.
yeah, I know he wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't as bad as me, but he wasn't great. And I was like, this is really fascinating. Like, why did I enjoy watching? It was so chilled out and zen. So I went down and got my clubs out of the basement and started going out there. And I thought, well, heck, if that dude can do it, I can do it too. So I just started setting up the tripod, and year and a half later, I got 1.4 million views somehow. It's like
Nice.
mind blowing to me.
That's
Totally
amazing.
insane.
It is just it's such a weird thing. I mean, like I said, I'm 53, so I grew up most of my childhood without internet. So seeing
Yeah,
like these
same,
types of
dude. I'm
opportunities is
35,
just
so
so mind
we're just
blowing, so
yeah.
mind blowing. So you said you golfed when you were a kid. When did you start golfing as a kid, and like what age were you? Kind of tell me the story. How did you get into golf?
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it was never a huge deal in my family, but my dad played, my uncles played, but I mean we were all bad. You know what I mean? This was like back when we weren't in a country club or anything. I'm from West Virginia originally, and so there are a lot of kind of rural courses out there that you could go play for cheap, and so we would just go do it for fun every once in a while, my dad and I. And we were just hacking it around, and there was nobody to, like, we didn't take lessons, and there was no YouTube back then. So you're just like figuring it out, right? And that's not really how it works with golf.
Yeah.
So I never got any better or anything, although I did get a hole in one back in 2001 in Oakland.
Oh,
total total luck. But but yeah, that's how I started doing it, and just kind of like never being able to break 100 or anything, but just having a good time out on the course, just standard stuff.
As a kid, when you were golfing as a kid, did you have your own set of clubs? Did you have like the cut down clubs? Did you share them with your siblings or kind of the
Yeah,
community
yeah,
set?
no, no, and I wasn't like a little kid. I was like a teenager when I
Okay,
started,
yeah.
I guess. So probably like freshman year of high school, something like that. And actually, it's really funny because when I started playing golf again, like recently, the clubs I was using, I got them for graduation in 1988. So they're still there. My son's using them now. So
Well, remember that you said that because eventually I'm going to do one of these live streams and I'm going to do a what's in the bag. And remember that you said you got this from 1998
yeah,
for graduation because mine are graduation gifts as well.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
88, 1988,
88.
man.
Oh,
This is
even
like my
better,
high
even better.
school graduation.
So I have, I yeah, I think the oldest club in my bag is 1996,
Yeah.
and that is my putter. But that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Well, I
So
gotta tell you, I just because you mentioned the putter, I do have a great putter story. So, my dad passed away, unfortunately, but anyhow, I went down to take care of my mom down in West Virginia, and um, so my dad had his clubs down there. It was kind of she had like a little medical thing, so I had to just jump in the car and go. And turned out she was okay, which is great. But I was using my dad's clubs, but the putter was gone, and I wanted to go play golf. So I went to a thrift store in my hometown and bought for $5 this like 1950s Northwestern like crazy old school hunk of brass putter, and I love that thing so much. I got a new handle for it and everything. It's my main putter now. So they like the oldest thing in
I've
my
seen
bag
it.
is like, yeah, it's crazy.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm like, I wonder what that thing is because mine's sort of an old hunk of brass too. Mine was a gift from a boss.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I was working for Frito Lay, and it is branded. It was, they always would send out like these logoed and branded kind of perk stuff. Like one year they had rolled gold pretzel wedges, and I got a Tostitos putter.
Oh,
So
fantastic. That is
and
awesome.
that's why I still putt right-handed because I've putted with that forever and I love the feel of it. But I golf the rest left-handed, so that's just kind
Oh,
of
that's
the way
fantastic.
it works. A question I like to ask is, uh, how do you golf? And I don't mean that in terms of the verb golf, like how do you actually golf?
Yeah,
I mean that in terms of the noun. So,
yeah.
like how do you embrace golf? So the what are sort of your entry points in golf? Like me, obviously I play. It's YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I post a lot of YouTube. I read a lot. I read, all of the golf websites, magazines. I'm on some other golf discords, not even talking about my own. I'm on some other golf discords. Really, that's sort of my how I embrace golf. How do you embrace golf? Is it the
Yeah,
pros? Is
man.
it
I tell you, a ton of YouTube videos. I really, really enjoy like YouTube videos, and I mean, I like the big guy like Bob Does Sports and Rick Shields and all the the kind of big ones, but that's not really my main jam. Like I like the medium to smaller size channels. Not only is it more relatable to my kind of style of golf because I'm like a 24 handicap. I mean, I'm getting better. I used to be like a 30 something, but it doesn't I enjoy watching people kind of like work through their struggles in golf rather than like we just got done watching today the Ryder Cup where like literally everything is going 3 feet from the pin, like for every shot, right? I mean, that's cool and it was exciting,
yeah,
but it doesn't, I mean, that has it's like a different planet for me, right?
yeah,
So seeing people like make progress and that kind of stuff and following them over time, I think is really a way to kind of connect with the game a little bit. And also, I like to do it because it gives me ideas for things to try on my own channel. One of the things that I've been able to do since I started kind of racking up some views is I get a lot of balls now to review, and it's my reviews are not like other reviews of balls because I don't hit the ball really far. Like I'm not giving you all my numbers and all of that. I'm talking
yeah.
about how does the ball feel? How does it, like aesthetically work for me? Does it make me more confident or less confident? Is the putting good? Does it feel good around the greens? From a high handicapper perspective, because we have a different set of needs and wants out of a golf ball than the people who are a three handicap
Yeah.
and like hit it 300 yards, right? So
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, get to talking to you about sort of like your content because you have so many. ball reviews and kind of how you got into that. And one of the, you kind of just touched on one of the things that I think about all the time is that. So I live in Oregon. Everyone in Oregon at some point has worked in some sort of craft industry. Mine was craft brewing. I worked in the craft beer industry for a while, and I was blown away by the founder of the company. Someone poo-pooed Coors Light in a meeting that we had, and he said, "Well, don't poo-poo Coors Light." And they're like, "Well, how can you drink that?" He's like, "I drink Coors Light." And he goes, "There's a time and place for every single beer. You just haven't found the time or the place for the Coors Light if you're going to poo-poo Coors Light." And I take that to golf as like sort of everybody has their own things that they're into,
Yep.
right? You talk about the data heads. I could care less about the data stuff. Like it's just not. I don't care about. I understand gear. I
Yeah.
know gear, but it's not what I embrace in golf. And I more power to guys who can just talk gear all day long. Who, some of the guys, and if they watch this, they know who I'm talking about. They've got a new putter every week,
Yeah.
and they swear that this is the one, and then 2 days later, this isn't the one. I'm going back to this one, which is fine. That sounds like so much fun. It's just not me. I've tried that. If I try that stuff, it just doesn't jazz me up. So I'm curious. Like the ball thing is really. I like the way that your ball reviews approach it. It's exactly how you say, right? You're not on TrackMan, you're not on a GC
No.
quad. It is here I am, warts and all, on a 20 bar handicap on a course. It looks a little crummy outside. The conditions are a little sketchy here and there. I'm just going to see how this ball performs. So, how did that kind of come about that you had like so much focus on ball reviews?
Yeah.
Was that
So
sort of planned out?
Well, not really. So I started doing this. I mean, I got a day job. I don't. This isn't like paying my bills. It's never going to pay my bills. But my goal out of it was to get some free stuff. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of the goal. So I'm not getting free clubs with I'm right on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for me.
Subscribe to this channel.
But I don't have those kind of numbers on my channel to be able to call up Tacoma and say, hey, send me some clubs, and
Yes.
they shoot them out to me, right? But I do have enough numbers to be able to call up Snell Golf and say, hey, I've got 1.4 million views. I do some ball reviews. If you send me a sleeve of balls, I'll review them on the channel. And they're like, yeah, I'll get you a box out tomorrow. Boom.
Is that
Off
is
they
that
go.
the spiel? Is that the spiel?
That's the spiel, man. It's like
Yeah.
I tell them, I'm upfront about everything. I'm like, I can't guarantee you views. Some of the videos do great, some don't do great, but I will give it an honest review. And I don't slag anybody if I don't like the ball, but I will say this isn't my favorite ball.
Yeah, it's not. I've seen you say it's not. This one's not for me.
Yeah,
It's not for
exactly.
me. It's not for me.
Because it might
Yeah.
be for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like everybody like plays golf differently, and for some people, like they've got to have spin around the greens. Man, I just got to hit the green. You know what I mean? So if the thing doesn't roll out off the green, for me, that's a good ball, and
Yeah.
that's what I talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that, and then the other cool thing that I got was there are a few. This is kind of weird, but there are a couple companies here in Maryland where I live that make their own golf apparel. And so
Okay.
I
Yeah.
called them up and I was like, hey, I'm a Maryland guy
I
too.
saw that.
And
What's the name of that company?
there's two of them. One is called Shanks, and the
Okay.
other one is called For Golf. Both of them are women owned, and they both started out in the pandemic doing clothes for women golfers. And they were so cool that all of their husbands and boyfriends and everything like started clamoring. So then they had this whole line of like men's stuff. So I've got like this the Shanks people gave me this amazing. I don't know if you've ever seen the Maryland flag, but it's the best
I've
flag in
seen the. I've
state.
seen the
And I've
flag.
got a whole shirt. It's just like nothing but the Maryland. It's amazing.
Look,
But yeah, so
I'm an Oregon Duck. I'm an Oregon
yeah,
Duck. I mean, I've even got my duck shirt on underneath here. I know all about the Maryland flag and the Under Armour and all that stuff.
right, right.
Yeah. So
Well, I got to tell you, like as a native West Virginian, Montana, Semper Libera, it
yeah.
is still a little weird for me to say I'm a Marylander. But yeah, so those kind of small scale sponsorships
uh
work out for everybody because they love it because they get their shirts and all my videos. I love it because I get some free stuff, and it's worked out really well for me.
You know what I love is you've answered one. Like I have lists of questions and just topics and things to discuss and talk about and get your perspective on and your story. And one of them was, I like it towards the very end, was like sort of what does success look like for your channel? Well, you've already succeeded. I know you're not monetized yet. You're super, super close. Subscribe to his channel. You're really, really close. Um, but you said, why did you start the channel? Just to get free stuff, and you're getting loads of golf balls. You've gotten apparel. I don't know what else you've gotten. So what next? What's sort of the
Next
next
is free
target?
rounds of golf. That's what I
Yeah.
want
What do you?
next. Free my next like world domination plan is like having enough numbers to be able to go into some of the golf courses I play and say I need some free rounds and I'll plug the course. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Like so
Yeah.
far I've gotten one of those down in West Virginia. I've got there's a course down there that I really like called Willowwood in Hinton. If you're ever down in Hinton, West Virginia, that's a really fun little course. And they hooked me up with a couple free rounds. So
So where do you? So you talk about hitting down in West Virginia.
yeah.
Where do you like to play now? Like, sort of, what's sort of your? Give me your month of golf with Joe. I mean, how often do you play? Where do you play? Is it
Yeah.
9 holes, 18 holes? You gotta.
Dude, I play a lot now. I just played today. I played on Friday. This is Sunday. So you know, probably at least once a week, usually a couple times a week. I got to tell you though, I enjoy 9 hole rounds way more than 18 because I walk and it. I don't know. I just like it better. I don't get as burned at the end of the round. It's like holes 15, 16, 17. I'm starting to feel like I've been walking an entire golf course kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Are you a
especially
walk?
if
Are
it's
you a
hot, if
walker?
it's hot. Oh yeah, I walk every
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Unless they make you, like at some courses, if you play 18, they make you take a cart, so I'll
Yeah.
do that. But
Oh.
otherwise, I walk. But there are a few. So I play mostly in Montgomery County, which is where I live in Maryland, and Baltimore at public courses
Okay.
because they're cheaper, frankly.
Yep.
And so, since I'm not getting paid to do this, golf gets real expensive real fast if you don't kind of like plan it out. So there, and also PG County, Prince George's County, which is like right next to here. I'm right outside of DC. Um, they have some really nice courses, and one that I do almost all my testing on now is like this really short. It's not quite a par three course because they have several par fours on there, but it's a short par four, like tons of par threes, so it's perfect for my channel to be able to do. It's all flat. There's not
Yeah.
any water carries because sometimes I just get like two balls. Like that, I just did it some Snyder reviews, and they were really nice to send me out an entire sleeve of like sample balls, but each of them only comes with two balls, and I'm a 24 handicap. So, so we got to be real careful with this.
Yeah, we have one course where I live in Salem, and we have one course in town that's exactly what you're describing. It's par threes and par fours, flat. Here we call them executive courses.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of
think,
the same deal. Yeah.
right. So it's very fun to play, and you and I talked on the phone earlier today. That's where my wife first started golfing, is on this executive course, and it's a perfect place to sort of start somebody out.
Yeah, that's where my
Because
son my son just coming straight out of like absolute nothing, and he's
yeah,
been he's been coming with me down to there. And you're right, it's absolutely perfect for
it
beginners.
does make a lot of sense though to do like the ball testing sort of at the same course,
Yeah.
right? You can compare multiple balls across, across different balls at the same course. I think is probably a pretty good idea.
Well,
That's pretty.
there's it also is cool because I play there a lot, so I know exactly what I shoot on that course. So, for example, I found some old blades that were my mom's, I think, from the 70s.
Oh, you made a video.
I did. So I
I saw
made a
the video.
video,
I
I
saw the
cleaned
video.
them all up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to take these out. And I was able to compare kind of apples to apples. Like, what do I normally shoot with my regular clubs on this thing versus what do I shoot with these blades? And it came out the same, man. So, spoiler alert. But yeah, so those types of like experiments really work well with a course like that. And plus it's only $24 to play it. So, I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's fantastic. What do you think? What do you think is sort of what is the strongest part of your game, and where do you think you have the most? Let's not say weakest part, but the most room for improvement.
Oh yeah, so I've got a lot of room for improvement, but I will say, like I said, I'm getting a lot better, and the best part of my game is course management by a long shot. I know exactly what I should be doing. I can't sometimes do it, but I hardly ever lose balls anymore. I don't get in sand traps hardly ever. I mean, I'm trying to not jinx myself here. I got to knock on wood, but the reason is because I'm very, very, very particular about course management. So I'll go on before I play somewhere. I'll go on and like strategize like where I want to be, where I don't want to be, that kind of thing, and that has really helped me lower my scores a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Um, where I really need work is just my basic swing is not even close to to consistent. Like my consistency is really bad. So I'll hit a shot that's fantastic, like really good shot, goes exactly where I want it to, and then the next one's a chunk that goes like 10 feet, right?
sure.
And it's because I still haven't got to the point where I can hit the ball smoothly every single time. So I'm getting better at it, but that's still a work in progress. I've been trying like that Jim Vanitos guy's swing, which is kind of weird. I don't know if you know that dude or not, but
I know the name.
he's got like this weird thing where he kind of pivots away from the ball to help you like get a better strike on it every time. And so far, so good on that. The key for me has been to keep all the weight on my left leg. One of our friends from the Discord was like, Joe, you've got to like rotate and get through there and stuff. But what he wasn't seeing was that I wasn't trying to hit the ball hard. I was just trying to hit the ball consistently every single
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
I'm able to do that. So now it's just got to once I get to that, start putting some power behind it to get it a little bit further.
Do you spend any time like a do you said you don't do you take less you don't take lessons, right? You said
No, but I'm thinking about actually signing up for that dude's thing and actually making a video about that
yeah,
process.
yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Do you spend any time do you spend any time at the range? Do you do any range sessions or anything like that?
Dude, I hate the driving range. I hate it. I just think it's pointless repetition. It's not pointless. I totally get that's why I suck at golf because
It
I
can
don't
be
go to the
pointless
range.
repetition.
Yeah,
We turn it into pointless repetition.
but I get it. Like everyone will watch this and scream, "Idiot! That's why you can't play golf." Right? Like I get it, but I do this for enjoyment and I
Yeah,
don't enjoy going to the range,
yeah.
right? Like I went there to kind of like start working out this dude's swing and I really just don't like it at all. So I would much rather just pay 21 bucks, get out on the course, try some things out, hit two balls at a time, and get some more work in that way.
Yeah, I think like you, I would rather, or I have found far more improvement when I stopped going to the range and I started playing a ton.
Yeah.
Like I play usually 36 holes every weekend, and usually get 9 holes in somewhere, or maybe nine plus on some evening or afternoon during the week, and I have improved so much more. And for the same reason you stated, a real focus this year on course management and
Yeah.
being smart. And I don't have to be perfect. There's like some glaring flaws in my game, but I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be smart about what I'm doing and not try to take on too much risk. So it's been fun to improve that way without going to the range because I also can turn it into a mindless like drill of just hitting ball after ball.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I like about the range is it's so relaxing
Kind
that
of zen.
I lose it is very zen for me. I lose focus on working on anything and improving anything and probably just ingrain really bad habits because I just feel so good to just stand there and rake a ball and hit it and not really
Yeah.
care. Just hit another one and hit another one. I do really enjoy putting practice and I will do a lot of that when the weather's good. I'll go to for lunch. I got to there's another course. It's 5 minutes from my office and I'll go hit the putting range for for an hour, and that has paid off a lot
Oh
in terms
yeah.
of that. And that I can actually work on stuff and stay focused on it. But the range, man, I just do the same thing, just completely lose focus and just be like, put the AirPods in and just zen out and just hit shot after shot after shot and just go for it.
Well, I think the thing that frustrates me about the range is that so like when I was out there last week, like I said, trying to kind of like start this new swing. And man, I was hitting everything like pure, like really nice. Like literally almost every ball. I think I hit like two duff shots, the entire bucket of balls, right? Like it was really working well for me. But when you get out on the course, the lie is everything.
Yeah,
And sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's in a little divot. That's the worst ever, right? Sometimes it's on top of a little hill. That's the kind of stuff you got to really learn, and you don't learn that on a mat, or I don't learn it on a mat. I shouldn't say you don't. I don't learn it on a mat.
mm,
So just getting out and like getting all into all these situations and trying getting out of them in an actual game, I think helps me more, or
Yeah.
has helped me more.
I'm a big fan. I did a book review on it of Adam Young's The Practice Manual.
Yeah,
If you're gonna yeah, if
that's on
you're
my
gonna
list because of your video. Yeah,
yeah, if you're gonna practice, if you want to put in a practice plan, I can't recommend it enough because he really just talks about skills. It's not about the full swing. It is because everyone's body's different, everything's
yeah,
different. Um, it's all about contact. And he has two drills. I go to the range and I'll hit a small bucket and I'll maybe just take one club, pick an iron, and that's what I'm going to hit.
right.
And I take a dry erase marker and a little tiny hand towel. And he's got these two drills. And all I focus on is, am I getting ball first contact? That's where the towel comes in.
Yeah.
And then am I getting center face contact? And that's where the dry erase marker comes in.
Oh, you put it
And
on your club.
so it's not about the full swing. It's not about any of that stuff. And half the bucket, I don't care where the ball's going. I don't care
Yeah,
about the ball flight. I care about, did I hit the center of the face and did I hit the ball first? And then maybe the second half of the bucket, and I'm talking a small bucket, like 35 balls. Then the second half, then I start looking at like ball flight. Am I starting it on this line and this, which way is it curving and all that fun stuff, flight mechanics. But I don't want to get too wrapped up in that because then it gets into your head when you're out on the course,
yeah,
and then all bets are off for for what's going to happen. So um, so you talked about your improvement is really tied to course management. And a while ago, you did the review of Will Robbins' scoring method. And
yeah.
it's funny because I forgot about his videos. I had watched his videos probably 2 years ago, or it seems like it was a couple years ago. I lose track of time, old. Um, but I had watched the videos and I was like, oh, that's really great. And I kind of half-hearted implemented some of it, but never really like sort of made my checklist of this is what you have to do. But I was like, yeah, this actually really makes sense. But then I fell into the trap of, well, I don't swing perfect. If you don't swing perfect, you can't do this. Whatever. And then I see your video and you're like, oh, I don't know if this works. I don't know if this works. And then I see your follow-up video and he's calling you back and
He
he's
called me,
calling you
man.
out. He's calling you out, which I love it. I'm like, oh, that's awesome that he did that. Like,
He is such a nice guy in real life, man. He
I
is such
bet.
a nice guy.
I
And
bet. So
talk
how
about getting free stuff. He gave me a whole free
There you
session.
go. There you go. You are probably the most successful YouTube channel I know, right?
No, it was wild. I couldn't because I like I said, I don't slag stuff. Even in the video where I was like, okay, this didn't work for
Yeah.
me. I wasn't like, oh, this sucks and blah blah. That's not my style. So I was really honestly, I was really kind of uncomfortable even posting that first video because it didn't work for me, and I didn't want him or the guy that the video he was in to think that I was like slagging off their videos. I totally was not doing that, and so I'm so glad he didn't take it that way. And he's like, no, you're just you got to think of it a different way. And I have to say, just for the people that don't know what this is, you're basically breaking every hole up into two different phases. The first phase is getting to 100 yards from the pin in two shots. This is for a par four. So you get there in two shots into 100 yards. If you do that, you put a check mark down on your scorecard. Then you have three more shots to get the ball in the hole on a par four. So you're trying to get a bogey out of this. And if you get a par, even better. But he's like, anybody can do a par three from 100 yards out. And that makes a lot of sense. Now,
Yeah.
in real life, sometimes it's really hard to get it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
three, even from
Yeah.
100 yards out. But I got to tell you, man, since I started doing that, it really helped me out mentally because, and I've kept doing it, I've kept doing this, but it really helped me out mentally because I don't hit the ball far. And I was always like freaked out about like trying to get the ball close enough to get it up onto the green. And I can get it within 100 yards almost every time in the number of shots that you're supposed to do that. And that's so much easier mentally to kind of get your head around than trying to get onto the green in two shots or whatever. I mean, that's just not going to happen for me. I'm not good
Yeah.
enough for that.
Yeah.
So this has helped me like get my mental, forget about the like the actual physical side of getting the stuff in the hole, getting the ball in the hole. Just mentally as a golfer, it's helped me kind of like reframe how I'm looking at golf and has made it actually more fun. So that was
Yeah.
great.
It is pretty awesome. And honestly, the way I look at it is, you always hear the saying, "Oh, you play golf, don't play golf swing," and
Yeah,
that's really it's playing golf, and it's playing golf to your level, right? Which is smart. I I have a video series that I really want to shoot. And as we get closer to winter, I golf year round. It rains a lot in Oregon. The
Yeah.
course start. I'm a member at a club. The club starts to clear out in the wintertime, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for me to
That's
get out there because I'm willing to go out in the rain and record. Which recording is hard enough. Recording in the rain is just it's such a headache. But there's a series I really want to do all summer long. My club kept sending out emails for people to sign up their kids, beginners, and intermediates to a program called Operation 36. And it's a whole series of lessons and things like that for truly for people who are just being introduced to golf. I don't think I'm there. I'm a 12,
no,
12.2
you're a
handicap.
great golfer.
I
You're
don't think I'm there.
you're a great
But
golfer.
the way they implement the program on the course is fantastic. So Operation 36 is the 9 holes. It's a par 36, but we're going to make every hole a par four, and we're going to start every hole. They call it level one. Level one, we're starting at 25 yards. Your job is to play 9 holes and get into the hole from 25 yards in 4 shots or less.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
and then once you're able to do that, and if you do it the first time, great. You go to 50 yards, and then it's 75, then 100, then
Oh,
150, then 200, and then the final level six is okay. Now you play the tee box that's appropriate for your for your distance, etc. You play the tee box because you've already shot 36 on all of these holes from 200 yards out, and
I
it's a
love
real.
this. I love
I was
this.
like, that's so simple, like, why wouldn't I have thought of that as a way to approach learning
Yeah.
how to play golf or learning how, yeah, look, play golf, not play golf swing. And so I really want to do this series. I got out and I started on it, and then it just turned into a disaster because there was a backup, and I was just, you know how it goes, right? It's just
Yeah.
like everything goes wrong on the course with the
Yeah.
equipment and people around you and stuff. And you're just like, forget it, forget it. Why am I doing this? But it is one thing I want to do. But it's sort of a similar concept, right? You're talking about on a par four, right? I want to be
Yeah.
within 100 yards and in 2 strokes, and then go from there. So it's another way to think about it. And if you want
Yeah.
to start at 100 yards, start at 100 yards. But I think it's a really great method for sort of like progressing in your ability to score because
Dude,
scoring is really a skill.
I'm telling you, so since I've been tracking this, I can really see like where the holes in my game are, right? And the holes in my game are 100 yards and in. Like
Yeah,
that is so, getting on the green and then getting it in the hole. So it's really funny because I'm not a bad putter. Like I usually get 22, 23 putts in an 18 roll hole round, which is, I mean, that's
yeah,
pretty decent.
that's great.
Um, but I have problem with 3 foot putts. Like I'm afraid I know what's happening. I can't fix it yet,
Yeah,
but I know
yeah,
what's happening. What's happening is I don't want it to go too far, so I barely hit it and it just dribbles off, right?
yeah,
So that's something I'm trying. But the reason that I like am so hell bent for leather on fixing this is because I'm using the system and I can see where I get that first check mark and then an X underneath it, and then I've got like a double bogey, right?
yeah.
And my goal right now is to to stay under 100 every single time because I my best round ever is 89, and I'm normally high 90s to like 105,
Mhm.
and it really burns me up to get 105 now. Like I feel like I should be better.
Yeah,
Like I am better than
yeah.
this. I know
Mhm.
I am because I've shot an 89. So that's my goal, is to kind of move myself down that ladder a little bit, and this is how I'm planning on doing it. Is like kind of like tightening up that close end game a lot
Yeah.
more.
It's tough once you've tasted the promised land,
Yeah.
and then you don't get there every other time. It's just and you know you're better. I had an amazing August in terms of scores. Like my highest score was an 89,
Oh,
next
man,
highest was an 86, and then everything was 84 and under.
that's
And
fantastic.
I've never had a run of golf like that.
Yeah.
And then we get to September 1st, and my first round in September, I shoot 95. And the second one was a 96. And it just burns you up because you know you're better. You know
Yeah.
you're better. And it's like nothing has changed. Probably something up here has changed, but
Well,
that's about it.
I watch that Golf Sidekick channel a lot. I don't know if you watch
Yeah.
that guy or not. He's hilarious, and that dude's method actually is what got me to break 100 was using his
Oh
methods.
yeah.
Anybody's out there trying to break 100, go watch Golf Sidekick. He's
He's
got
got
a
a good system.
full system like laid out. If you do that, you will break 100. I guarantee because I know
I
you because I did it.
I used it too.
Yeah. And but anyhow, he always talks about what we're talking about here, where like it's such a peaks and valleys game where you're doing great, and then all of a sudden it's like you can't hit the damn ball anymore, right? And it's frustrating, but you got to just kind of keep rolling, and you'll end up coming back. And I think that I've found that's the case. At least for me, it has been the case. So.
What is it do you think in golf that you probably derive the most enjoyment from? What aspect of it?
Um. Oh, you know what? I actually know the answer to this. So
It's not
I
a
like
test.
I like golf as a metaphor for life. And that sounds so pretentious and stupid. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be pretentious here. But that's the thing that I really enjoy about it the most is it gives me perspective on my real life where there's a few things. Like one is that this too shall pass, right? Like
Yeah.
anything that bad that happens, you have a terrible round of golf. Don't get all bent out of shape about it because you're going out again and you'll do better the next time, right? Um, the whole idea of not giving up on a hole, right? Like I think
Uh-huh.
that's like so difficult
I
to do, so
Yeah.
difficult to do. But you should never ever give up on a hole because you'll surprise yourself, right? Same thing in life. Don't ever give up because you got some challenges going on. Keep pushing, keep going, and then just the constant kind of like tweak here, tweak there, and then all of a sudden you look down and you have broken 90, right? Like that when I broke 90, I wasn't keeping score. I just knew I had hit a bunch of pars on that game, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think I four putted the last hole, number 18. And I was like, well, there goes my score for today. And it was 89. So life can surprise you just like golf can. And it sounds so pretentious to say this.
It's you
I'm not trying to be
that
pretentious. I
that's not
promise.
it's not the kids might think it's pretentious, but I get it. It's not at all. That is 100% like the beauty of the game that we play is that it is that. It is like that perfect metaphor. You like everything that happens in life, you hit a bad shot. So what? It's about perspective. I'm 50
And it
almost
hurts in the moment. It definitely
yeah,
it definitely hurts and you get mad, but
almost 53. I've had a lot worse things happen to me than hitting into a
yeah,
sand trap. you know,
right.
I think that is that's a maybe even a good stopping point. I don't know. It's just such a great summation of sort of where you are and who you are and what you're all about. I super enjoy your channel. I
Oh,
have
thanks, man.
I like you. I go back to what you said earlier about who you watch. I actually don't. So I come and go with some of the big guys. I can't relate. I don't care about their stuff. They spend more time talking and chattering between holes and shots about stuff I don't care about than actually watching the shots. And I would rather watch you go out and test a golf ball that I've never heard of in my life and give me your honest opinion on it. I'd rather watch that. I'd really rather watch that than these guys on these $1 million courses.
Well,
Um,
I appreciate it,
so
man. I mean, the feeling is definitely mutual. I love watching you play because it gives me kind of like something to strive for. Your
no,
golf game is
no,
very good.
no. You don't want to strive for what I got going on.
And the other thing is the views on your channel are just outrageous. They are outrageous. Where you live is just so gorgeous. I've
Yeah.
been out there and I love it in person, but the way you film everything is really really good. I'm always like getting kind of I've started like doing some like reframing of how I do my putts now because of your channel because I've always
Yeah.
done it straight online so I could do shorts on it,
Yeah.
but I love the way that you show like the full green and the ball kind of like going across. That's like so cool.
Yeah, I must. I do that. There's a purpose behind that. I take a lot of time. I've studied a lot about just on my own about sort of now talk about pretentious cinematography.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, this is
but
filmmaking,
this
man.
is
Whether
what we're
you
doing.
like it or
This is what
not.
we're doing. But camera angles, and my course that that I'm a member at the club. It really is a beautiful course,
Oh, it
and
is.
you can make it look even better by your selections, where you place the camera, how paying attention to where the sun is. Because I play a lot in the evening and the
Yeah.
afternoon, so the sun is low. It can make it really difficult on some holes, and you just sort of learn by trial and error what works and what doesn't work, and what angles are looking. You probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
I will be standing over a shot, and I'm thinking in my head, this is the thumbnail.
Exactly, man.
Because I know what this shot looks like. I know what this guy's, but just thinking that. So I appreciate it. Very kind words. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Again, if you are not subscribed to Sorta Like Golf, this guy's a good one. Subscribe to his channel. Thank you so much for coming on, Joe. I've had a
Yeah, man.
blast. I have 100 other questions, and maybe we do episode 2 of Sorta Like Golf with you in
Yeah,
the future here, and I can get to all the other stuff that I wanted to ask you about. But want to respect your time. You're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. Go Ducks. Go Mountaineers. Wait,
yeah.
what's the Mountaineers?
Yeah, it's WVU's Mountaineers, but I gotta go.
Are you a
Maryland
Terp?
Terrapins now.
You're a Terp. You're a Terp.
My
I
daughter's at
think.
Maryland, so I gotta go for that. She's in the band actually. So
Oh, nice, nice, awesome, awesome. Well, congratulations to her. Congratulations to you on such a success. You're getting lots of free stuff. Hope you get a lot more free stuff in the future.
awesome. Thanks,
It's
man. Hey,
great
listen, I
listening to
really
you.
appreciate the time and you asking me to do this. It's been really fun.
Yep, been a blast. All right, folks, like, subscribe to this guy. Have a good time. Throw your comments in. See you later. Good night.
Good night.